feel like I've been waiting forever for a basketball game in the NBA. So finals start tomorrow, Thursday. So, we're about to make our predictions. Don's going to be wrong, but he's going to rave about his players. So we're going to give our thoughts on that. So we're going to start off first. Which team or player is under the most pressure? I actually want to go to Don first because I'm very interested how he's going to go with this.
Which team or which player or team has the most pressure? Woo! I mean, I think it's
I want
easy.
to see you sweat. Come on, say something.
I think it's the easy answer. I'm surprised you let me go first. It's Jayson Tatum. He's been to 5 conference finals. He went to the 2022 finals. The East was a walkthrough. Let's face it, with all the injuries and upsets, it was a walkthrough. If they lose, he'll be 0-2 in the finals after a 64-win season. He's now eligible for a historic $315 million supermax extension. All right. So don't play bad and lose and choke it away, because the only team that right now can give it to you is the Celtics. And we've seen it before. The Celtics are not afraid to make big moves when things don't work out. Isaiah Thomas, see ya. Welcome Kyrie. Oh, Kyrie, it ain't working out. See ya. Let's go sign somebody else. Gordon Hayward, you come in on a big contract. Oh, you get injured. You're not working. You're out. Ime Udoka. Oh, he doesn't do something right off the court. You're out. We'll make a big change.
Want to say what he did, but that's all right.
Even though you took us to the 2022 NBA Finals. So all I'm saying is Boston in the city holds the Celtics different than any other Boston sports team in the city. Tatum needs to win there to be a legend. I've told you this in the other show, and I'll leave it at this. Even if he goes somewhere else and wins a title and doesn't win it in Boston, people in Boston will look at his career as a failure because he couldn't do it in Boston. It's because it's the Celtics organization. It's Celtics Lakers. You got to win there if you want to be that legend.
All right, Coach, you agree with him, or you got somebody else?
Oh my God! Nah, I think
Come on over, Coach.
I think he hacked into my notes.
He's been known to do that.
Yeah, I think he has. He's been emailing me all day, so I think he might have.
Coach, you the IT guy. I know nothing about it. I come to you for my IT questions.
Some reverse engineering over there. No, I actually do agree with that. Yeah, Jayson Tatum. I actually had I was going in between. I was looking at a combo, but I think kind of looking at the next thing we're gonna probably talk about. But with Tatum and Boston, I mean the expectations that were set for them going into this season, it's conference finals, NBA finals, championship, or bust. And I think that I think that what Don was saying is right on point. He has to win it there. If he doesn't, it's going to be a scar. And I don't know if I don't know where he fits or how he recovers. If he's not there and he's somewhere else and ends up winning it somewhere else, I don't know. Because Boston is definitely a place where when the championship expectation is there, you need to win it. And so if there was no expectation, then hey, we could be talking about something else. But the expectation is there. Being in the finals in the 2022, yep. And then now, right? So so 2 finals. You get multiple conference finals. It's time. I'm gonna leave it right there because I'll start getting into predictions in a minute.
We're coming up on that.
I know.
You already know how it is.
I'm gonna pump the brakes on this.
Yeah, Coach, you're already a pro at this. See, you already know.
Don, I disagree with you on one point. We act like whether Tatum wins or not is going to affect him getting the Supermax. There's a bunch of guys in the league that got Supermaxes.
Well,
they have not been in this position.
But JT, you got to remember something. He only can get that Supermax.
But I know that. But he got to get a max contract as long as he's in the league. Like somebody going to pay up for him.
I understand that, but he can only get that $315 million.
No, I get that. I get that. But you guys are right. It's a sweep. It's Jayson Tatum. We throw around words like superstar, top 10 player the last 5 years, and he got to get it done. Like if he loses this finals, massive legacy hit. Next one. Who's the X factor in this series? This is always an interesting question when we have this show, but Coach, I'm gonna go with you first because I don't really care what he got to say about it.
Yeah. So X Factor. This is where I was doing a little flip flopping, Bucci, when I came on. So I'm gonna go with what I'm thinking right now in this moment. The X Factor is everybody on the Mavericks team outside of Luka and Kyrie. All right, now, hear me out. I say that because Boston is going to do what Boston's going to do defensively, and Boston has opportunities to switch up things. They may be a little bit more flexible with matchups than maybe Dallas is, but Luka and Kyrie, those two guys, it amazes me how Kyrie Irving is. I think ball on the string. We do drills like this in sports, in basketball, and a ball on the string, work on the ball. One amazing ball handler, right? And for a guy that can handle the ball like that and do all the things with the ball in his hands to play off the ball is amazing to me, absolutely amazing to me. And so when I take those two guys, and those two guys are so good that no matter what you do to them, they have a counter for it. So I say the X factor is everybody on Dallas team outside of those two guys, because Boston's going to have to try to do something with those guys. Like, they can't take away both of them. They can try to take away certain things from either one of them, but whatever they do, they're going to make the right play, and they're going to make the play, and they may put it into the hands of those other guys. And if those other guys can't produce, then they can forget any chance. They had no chance to win this series. But if those other guys can produce, Boston got a problem.
Mm-hmm. All right, he said the Scrubs got to pull their weight. Nah.
He said, I'm playing this tape. I'm taking the whole Dallas roster.
Scrubs got to pull their weight. Nah,
see, Coach, JT puts words in your mouth. You got to be careful. You got to be careful around him. Listen, who immediately jumped to my mind as an X factor? Drew Holiday. Like, he will need to make plays on offense to help Brown and Tatum, because we won't know exactly. Obviously, Porzingis is supposed to play in game one, but we don't know how he's going to come back. And to be honest, Boston in the playoffs, 9-1 without Porzingis. And their record in the regular season is pretty darn good without him.
42 plus wins without him.
Yeah. I mean, they won 2/3 of their games without him. So, like, to me, Porzingis is not an X factor. But the reason why they're getting the job done, yes, of course, Brown and Tatum, but this is the NBA Finals now. We know the way the playoffs are. You need that third guy. You need that third scorer. You need that guy that can make plays. And speaking of that, what did he do? 28 points in game one against the Pacers. They came back and won at the end. Game three, his defensive play, I think on Nembhard, sealed the deal. So he won them 2 games right there. He's a prior champ with the Milwaukee Bucks, and he does all those intangibles. And I know some people don't like, he's got the it factor. What are intangibles? But listen, I don't know, because I don't coach him every day. I'm not around the guy every day, but he has the intangibles, right? He's not going to be scared to go up against Kyrie and Luka. Are they better players than him? Sure. But let's face it, Drew Holiday is no scrub. Like, he's a hell of a player. And if he comes the ball and he's that deciding X factor, and it's not one of the 12 other guys that Coach Franklin's taking on Dallas, like, Boston's going to win because of Drew Holiday, along with what Tatum and Brown do. But if Tatum and Brown do what they do and no one else helps in Boston, it's a wrap. Dallas is going to win. So I think that's why it's Drew Holiday, because he's probably going to get assigned one of the 2 guys, right?
Probably Kyrie.
Yeah.
Right. I like these answers. I think the scrub answers beat yours. But I'm gonna give my honest opinion.
Strength in numbers.
Only reason I'm naming this player is because I've seen enough of this guy as a Heat fan to know that when he playing well, he gonna mess up your day. And I want to say the F word, but I'm not gonna do it because Don gonna be very mad if I say that on this show. But this dude absolutely F's up your day when he's playing well. The easy X factor is Derek White. Like, he can be the third wheel in so many different scenarios. He could be the scorer. He could be a defender. Like, he is just, when he is playing well, you in trouble. And I hate that. Every game that my Heat have lost in that playoff, in any playoffs we played against Boston, is because Derek White did something he wasn't supposed to be doing. So I think the same thing going to happen to the Mavericks because I don't think they play as good a defense as the Heat. So if Derek White is doing Derek White playoff things, he's going to be the X factor to beat. But I mean, hey, look, I can go with the scrubs too, because if Dan Gafford and PJ Washington out there put 20 points, then that's going to be a good thing too. All right.
So, hey, JT, I think Isaiah Ray is talking about you. He said, I don't think y'all know basketball. Isaiah, thanks for watching. I think JT, he was talking about you there.
Isaiah ain't talking to me.
You don't know basketball.
I know he ain't talking to me.
We appreciate you watching, though.
Thanks for watching. What's one storyline that will define this series? Coach, I'm coming to you with this one first.
My initial thought was, and I'm actually changing up on it, but my initial thought was Luka and Kyrie, which is probably a big obvious one for either side you're looking at. But I think that the storyline might actually be this conversations that have been happening about Jaylen Brown being snubbed as a all NBA, all-star, all NBA player, first team. And how does he respond to that in this moment with this team? Because, does that cause any kind of, disconnect between he and Jayson Tatum? Does he start to feel a certain way? How does he play through this particular moment? Because with those two, with Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, both of those guys need to be on it in order for Boston to win this championship. And I think Jaylen Brown's smart enough. We hear about it if we listen to the off the court stuff and how smart that guy is. He's probably smart enough to not let it affect him during the course of the series. But you never know. So I will be watching for the cohesiveness between those two all-stars during the course of the series, and to see if this is second time around. How are they going to handle it if Dallas is keeping the pressure on from a series level, not talking about individual game to game, but a series level, and Dallas is there? Who's going to be the man? Who's going to be the man between those? Who's going to be the man in Boston to say we're not losing a second NBA final in 3 years?
According to Don, it's going to be Drew Holiday. But Don, what's the one storyline that's going to define the series?
So I mentioned this 2 weeks ago on our show. Check it out from 2 weeks ago if you haven't. When I said it's going to be Dallas and Boston, JT disagreed. He thought Indiana was going to win or something in OK City or something. But I had mentioned it's Kyrie going back to Boston. We know how the Boston sports fans are, and we don't always agree with them. Kyrie going back, I think they're going to be ruthless to him. And I think if Dallas can harness that negative energy, right, that they're going to have toward the Mavs and in particular Kyrie, and use it to their favor and take game one or game two, they win the series. It's a wrap. If Dallas leaves Boston with a win in one of those first two, it's over. It's done. All right. Because Boston fans are going to feel a little insulted and hurt if they allow Kyrie to come on their court and to take a game. And I think that's going to give so much confidence to Dallas. And Kyrie's on a mission. I don't know if we've ever seen him play like this and be as focused as he is. And I just don't think that the Boston fans are going to impact him or the Mavericks, even though it's going to be a story. It's going to be the story just based on the way he left.
All right. I like both of those answers. I'm going to go with probably a storyline to me that's not obvious to you guys is which one of these coaches is going to make an all-time name for themselves? Because both of them had heavy questions so far in their careers as coaches coming into this moment. Mazzulla, we already know, was he ready to take over a team that was this ready to win a championship when Ime had them going in the right direction? He kind of struggled a little bit out of the gate and has been inconsistent, but here they are. Jason Kidd, before this stop, fired. People thought he wasn't a really good coach. They thought he only got coaching jobs because the players liked him. Here he is, first guy to coach Luka to an NBA Finals. So I want to see which coach is going to actually put on their best effort and make a name for themselves and enhance their legacy as a coach, because they're both in the same exact spots. And one of them could really, really enhance their all-time coaching legacy by putting on the masterclass. Like, imagine if one of these teams gets swept. What are we going to be saying about that coach?
Ooh.
Like, and where are you going to start putting them in like the hierarchy of coaches? So them two got the most to gain out of this finals. Like, Jayson Tatum will be fine. He'll be ringless, but he'll be rich. Like, I want to see Jason Kidd versus Mazzulla, which one of those guys is going to step up. So that's my storyline.
Hey, put him on the court, put a ball in their hand to see what see if Jason Kidd still got.
Hey, I heard about Mazzulla at West Virginia.
At West Virginia. Cy House, right? Cy House in the house. That's Coach Cy. JT, we got to have him on the show. He's like the World Wide West of the DMV area, as I call him. He says Boston is going to sage TD Garden after Kyrie torches them. So they might have to. They might have to.
All right. We're gonna roll through these two really quick. I just need one word answers from you guys. The MVP of the finals will be, Coach.
Let's go give him my next one. Luka or Tatum.
You gotta pick one.
You gotta pick one. We didn't bring you on for that.
Yeah, come on, man.
All right, Luka.
Come on.
Luka.
Yep.
Don, I know where you're going with this. Go ahead and say it.
Luka.
All right, it's a sweep. It's gonna be Luka. And the winner will be, give me the team and how many games, Coach.
I'm gonna go with the Mavericks, and I'm say in 6.
I agree. Dallas in 6.
I'm gonna stick to my guns. What I said 2 weeks ago. Mavs in 5. If they win that first game, Boston gonna go in the tank mentally this game. I seen them do it against the Heat. I know it's in their